All right. All right. They did it. They won a baseball game. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another post game here on Mets Central. And the Mets win 5-0 over the Milwaukee Brewers. And it all comes down to what we thought it would. The Atlanta series, just obviously not in the way that it was supposed to go down, to where it should have been wrapped up and this should have been the last game of the season. But now it all comes down to a doubleheader in Atlanta. And we are still waiting to see if the Braves are going to win or not, because they still have a chance in the bottom of the ninth to win their game. They're only down by 2. So there's a chance they win it and just clinch the postseason there. And if that's the case, then there's a world where only one game is needed. So as much as I hate the Braves, I think at this point I'm rooting for the Braves to just win this game and come back. So then we could just go into Atlanta, have to get the job done in one game, and the Braves probably won't try as much because they're going to want to save their better pitchers for the playoffs. I'd rather get to that scenario, but it does not look like it's going to get to that. It looks more likely it is going to be that they're going to have to play both games, and I am going to shit myself tomorrow. I can tell you that right now. Truly am. Leave a like, subscribe. I don't remember if I said all that, but regardless, let's talk about this game because for the most part, I was not stressed at all. Really wasn't worried. Well, obviously that's a lie. Going into the game, I was worried, but with the way that things transpired, I should say, I didn't. My worries were at ease. My worries were at ease as the game progressed. Lindor set the tone early in this game. He gets a walk, steals a bag. Iglesias grounds out. Nimmo with a single to make it 1-0. Vientos lines out. Nimmo steals a bag. Alonso walks and Martinez flies out. I thought there was an opportunity there to really break the game open early, which would have been great, but unfortunately that's not the case. The bottom of the first, David Peterson on the mound gets a ground out, allows a single, allows a walk, gets a force out, and then strikes out Haas to end the inning. Top of the second inning, Starling Marte drops a bunt. Alvarez with a single. Taylor hits into a force out, and then Lindor flies out. We go to the bottom of the second where Collins strikes out. Perkins walks. Sanchez hits into a flyout. Ortiz hits into a ground out. We go to the third inning where Iglesias gets a single, and then the rest of the order goes down. Bottom of the third, finally a 1-2-3 inning for David Peterson, which was much needed because you need to keep his pitch count low. Top of the fourth inning, JD Martinez with a double. Marte with a beautiful bunt, and then Alvarez makes it 2-0 with a single. Taylor with a single, and then Lindor with a single. He steals the bag again, 3-0, and all of a sudden the MVP chance coming out for him. And then, unfortunately, Iglesias strikes out and Nimmo grounds out. We go to the bottom of the fourth, where again, Peterson, 1-2-3 inning. Top of the fifth inning, Vientos with a single. Alonso gets hit by a pitch, then a wild pitch advances the runners. Unfortunately, Martinez would strike out, and then Marte gets intentionally walked, and then Alvarez with a sacrifice fly to make it 4-0. Tyrone Taylor hits into a flyout to end the inning. So again, another opportunity where they probably could have got more runs, but didn't. Bottom of the fifth inning, Perkins strikes out. Sanchez with a walk. Ortiz hits into a double play, and then we go to the sixth inning where Lindor. This is what we want to see Lindor do because he looked more like himself today, and he hits a home run to make it 5-0. He backpacked the hell out of this team today, as per usual, like he's been doing all year, and yet again, giving the Mets a chance to make the postseason. And Iglesias flies out. Nimmo strikes out. Vientos hits a single. And then Alonso grounds out. Then we go to the bottom of the sixth where 2 strikeouts for Peterson as he gets a 1-2-3 inning. Top of the seventh inning, Martinez lines out. Marte hits into a ground out. And then Alvarez hits into a flyout. We go to the bottom of the seventh where, again, a 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. And I was very surprised that they pulled right then and there. David Peterson, I felt they should have let him go. I mean, you got 2 games tomorrow, potentially. That was an opportunity to let David Peterson go the distance and try to go 8 innings, especially with who they went with in the 8th inning, which I still do not understand. But regardless, yeah, the Mets in the 8th inning, a ground out, back-to-back groundouts from Taylor and Lindor. Iglesias hits a single, but then Nimmo flies out. We go to the bottom of the 8th, and Phil Maton comes in for some reason, which I don't understand why after he pitched a lot yesterday, and I would figure you want him for the doubleheader in today's game, or for tomorrow's game. I am all over the place right now. I don't know why. I guess because I'm just, like, nervous thinking about how tomorrow could go. But he got into a bit of trouble, allowed a couple of hits, allowed a single to Sanchez and Terang. Churio nearly made the game close with a home run, but thankfully that got caught at the fence. We go to the top of the ninth inning where Vientos grounds out. Alonso pops out. Martinez with a single. And then Bader strikes out. We go to the ninth inning where Diaz, a little shaky because his velocity was down, but he allowed a walk and still got 3 strikeouts. And people are questioning why Diaz was in the game. To me, I don't have a problem. It's been way too long since he's got work, and it's been too long since this team has got to win. It's been a week now, and you got to win the game in front of you. You got to win when the opportunity's there. He's someone that does better with more work, and I would rather him get the work now and get the rust off before heading down to Atlanta, where he probably will be needed tomorrow in a situation where the Mets could end up winning and clinching a playoff berth. They need him ready to go. So I am completely fine with what they did there. I'm completely okay with Diaz pitching there in the ninth inning. So I think it was a good idea. And I know there's the argument that maybe you could have used him for both games tomorrow, but realistically, were they in either way, this team is in a spot where they need to win one game, not both. So I think that they'll be fine for tomorrow, as much as the bullpen struggled, which again is why I wanted Peterson to go an extra inning today to, save your better arms for tomorrow. But I digress. It is what it is. And you got an unbelievable start from Peterson. As much as I have been calling Peterson a fraud all year, as much as I have been not a believer in Peterson, I'll say, man, today he gave a start to remember, and today he gave me a start that could make me look back at it. I could look back at this by the end of October if this team is holding the trophy at the end of the year and say, that start from David Peterson, Milwaukee, is one to remember, as he was just unbelievable today, and he gave everything that this team needed. He gave everything. I mean, he did not allow a lot of contact today. He held them to like 1 hit for the majority of this game, 2 hits or whatever it was. He really did a freaking good job today. Like, he gave what they needed him to, and he threw the majority of his pitches being fastballs, which was nice to see, because that outing he had where he looked really dominant, he was really going fastball heavy. The one that I referred to, I forgot who they faced. I don't know why, but regardless, there was one start where he had like 10 strikeouts in September or late August, and that's what I wanted to see more of, him attacking hitters with his fastball, and he gave that today. The bullpen did fine. I know Maton got into a bit of trouble, but he did fine. And then the lineup, again, Lindor, great. Iglesias, again, going to for Brandon Nimmo. As much as I clowned him yesterday, stepped up in a big spot today and got an RBI. Very good to see. Vientos going 2 for 5. Much needed day from him, and he was very close to going 3 for 5 with a really hard hit ball at short. And then JD Martinez even going 2 for 5, breaking out of a bit of the slump there, which if he could carry that over into Atlanta, that's going to be much needed. And more importantly, in the postseason, if they get there, because they're going to need everybody rolling. Alvarez, he was rolling as well. You got production where you needed it. Unfortunately, Pete Alonso still didn't really give you much. But outside of that, you got production everywhere in the lineup today. Even Marte, who was dropping a couple bunts. You got what you needed from this team. And the most important thing is the W. Getting in the W column. So we'll see how this goes. I was trying to buy time and hope that the Atlanta game would end so we get a better idea of how this thing is going to shape up here in terms of if this game's even going to mean anything for the Atlanta Braves. But bottom of the ninth is going very, very slow. But Mets right now sitting with 88 wins, tied with the Atlanta Braves. Of course, the Braves technically have the tiebreaker right now. So the way that this will go, as we're waiting here, is if the Braves somehow come back and win, and the Mets just need one, if the Mets win game 1 tomorrow, I should say, and then both teams are in at that point, and the Mets would go to San Diego, and the Braves would go to Milwaukee. If both games are played and they split, the Braves will play the Padres, and the Mets will play the Brewers. And of course, why am I forgetting the last scenario possible? I guess if the Mets win both tomorrow, if the Braves lose, the Diamondbacks are in, and the Mets play San Diego, and the Diamondbacks play the Brewers. I guess that's the way that would go. I don't know. My head is spinning even thinking about all these ideas. But regardless, we'll see what happens. If the Braves come back and win, that's going to change how tomorrow could be potentially, because then they're not going to face Sale or Schwellenbach, which could really help the Mets out. But if that's not the case, they're probably going to have to, unfortunately, play one of, if not both of them tomorrow, which would really suck. So we'll see how it goes, but it comes down to this. Hate that it comes down to the wire here. That's the reality, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.